Hey y'all, the Elevated One here, and I'm back with another Viewers Takes video. Y'all's comments came in a lot faster than they usually do on my other posts. Usually I have to wait like a week to get to recording, but nah, I posted about 2 days ago, and I've already got several comments from you guys, so I really appreciate the engagement from you all. It means a lot to me. And without further ado, let's get started. First one's more of a hot prediction than a take. Is from Stars and Mars. Will Ospreay isn't becoming AEW World Champion at All in London. Stars and Mars, if you're watching this, feel free to comment down why you think this is the case, because I can't imagine a world where Ospreay doesn't win the title in London. I feel like we've all been waiting for this ever since he signed with the promotion. Even before he said it himself, we all knew Ospreay would become champion eventually, and most likely it was going to happen in London. Yeah, I feel like it's a given that's going to happen. But again, please feel free to comment down below any theories you have, any conclusions you've drawn from watching Dynamite. This is more of a hot question than a hot take. Tim GK454: if the catch up of the Hangman would happen, would you be interesting or not? I don't think I'd be interesting. I'm a pretty boring person in real life, so I don't think I'd be interested in this match would happen. If you meant that I would be interested or not in the catch of the Heyman happening, I would be thrilled if this match happened. And again, I apologize for being a smartass. I know what you mean. I'm just cracking jokes over here, trying to anyways. I would love for this match to happen again. In my Double or Nothing written review post, I said that I love Takeshita ever since he wrestled Hangman in that TV match in 2022. Now both these wrestlers have come so far. Even Hangman, who was already world champion when that match took place, both have undergone so much character growth and have gotten better as wrestlers and athletes. If these two had another match, this time a high profile match with build and stakes, I would absolutely love to see these two go at it again. Because that first match is still one of my favorite. It was one of my matches of the year in 2022, one of my favorite Dynamite matches still ever, and still one of my favorite matches between both those guys that I've ever seen from them. It's excellent. If you haven't checked it out, Hangman Page was a Konosuke Takeshita Dynamite Wildcard Wednesday, I believe, May 18th, 2022. I should not know all that information, but yeah, I do. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Next one from Chris F7962. Think Pac or Claudio need one last big push? Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Pac can still go, Claudio can still go. It's no secret from them. I feel like Pac, especially in the early years, was on the precipice of something special several times, but either being sidelined from injuries or visa issues halted the momentum he had in those moments. So unfortunately, we never saw those angles or pushes ever be culminated. And for Claudio's case, I hear a lot of it's mostly just bad faith. WWE fans who want Cesaro back, not realizing they could easily see him every week on AEW. And I say every week because I think Claudio Castagnoli, here's my own hot take, he's one of the most underrated signings in AEW. I don't know if it's hot or not, but I don't see people talking about this enough. People say Claudio has been a letdown in AEW, and I don't think that's the case at all, because he's always in groups, whether it is the Death Riders or the Blackpool Combat Club. The dude is always involved in high profile feuds. Because he's in those groups that these feuds always have, he's in the general orbit of the main event because he's associated with Mox or Danielson, but he's at the main focus of the groups of the feuds. He's never having those world title matches that those feuds are built around. So from that case, it is unfortunate, but because he's always in high profile factions that are always featured on TV every week on Dynamite and Collision, he's always around. He's really reliable. He's always on television. He's always wrestling matches, whether it's singles or multi-person tag matches. He seems like one of Tony Khan's go-to guys. Like if he ever needs a match for TV or another person for a tag match, he's there. Has he accomplished a lot in terms of winning titles and having big singles matches? No, not even close. He was Ring of Honor champion once or twice, I think, but I'm not trying to say that's meaningless. Being Ring of Honor world champion isn't as meaningful as being any champion in AEW, and I guess that's another hot take for me. Clearly not the same. I'm looking at Athena. We'll get to her in a little bit. Her being women's champion, as long as she has, isn't really doing her much favors in AEW. But yeah, going back to a bit of a tangent there. Going back to your original comment, yes, Claudio and Pac need one more last push before they call it a career. From Leia Stars Cream Cameron 724. So sorry if I mispronounced your name. Bandito needs to be world champion and beat Athena's record. Yes, I know she's still champ as we speak. I say what I said. I love him. I don't blame you. I love Bandito too. I touched on Athena earlier, so I'll touch on that aspect of your comment first. She's still champion as we speak. You're correct. She shouldn't be. She should have lost that title whenever she had the most recent Billy Starks one-on-one match. They had one at Final Battle 2023. They had another one a year later, and everyone thought she was gonna lose, and she didn't. And everyone's kind of like, what the hell? Yeah, the record's cool and all. Doesn't really do much for her right now. Cause like I said earlier, it's not doing much favors in AEW and getting her more high profile spots, more high profile matches, title feuds. She had the one against Toni Storm last year and then just disappeared to Ring of Honor until the women's tag tournament, which is a few months apart. And Bandito needs to be world champion. That's not a hot take. Everybody watching this, I think we can all agree, yes, Bandito needs to be world champion. Unfortunately, it seems like they're taking a step back because now he's with Brody King again. And I love Brodito, but let's have Bandito actually flourish as a singles competitor longer, accomplish some stuff, and then work his way up to the main event scene. Unfortunately, the upper mid card and main event scene is so stacked, it'd be years, guys, before we even see him in a big world title program, and even longer until we see him win that title, if ever. But as of now, he's been having several big marquee matches on pay-per-view the past few months, and we've all been great. So that's good to see. Unfortunately, he hasn't really been in that main event spotlight just yet, but I'm sure hopefully one day he'll get there. Next from Christian RC3131, bit of a long one, so I'm gonna sum it up for y'all. AEW should cut down to 6 pay-per-views, keep the original 4, and the other 2 should be All In and World's End, because World's End at least has the G1, the Continental Classic Final. Get rid of Forbidden Door because it's not forbidden anymore, and Wrestle Dream because it was supposed to be an Inoki tribute show and he hasn't been mentioned since the first one. And also get rid of Dynasty and Redemption because it's so close to other major pay-per-views. I completely agree with you. This is probably the most agreeable hot take in this thread. First, from a budget standpoint, it's getting kind of crazy. I just don't see the need for Dynasty and Redemption, Wrestle Dream. Yeah, I don't see a need for those. When it was the original 4, every time we hit those pay-per-views through the year, it felt special because we had to wait 3.5 months to get to the next one, as opposed to where it's every 4 or 5 weeks and the builds are so hastily rushed. I can't believe more people aren't talking about this. I know hot take for me, they don't really do good building out the rest of their pay-per-view cards. 4 weeks out, you get 2 or 3 marquee matches, and like the Dynamite before the go home show, you get a bunch of these random mid-card matches with no build. They just have a backstage segment or someone pins someone in a tag match and that justifies them for a title match. They also feel so rushed to build when it comes to the mid-card tag title. Heck, even the women's title matches, they seem so just sudden, except for, like I said earlier, you get the 2 or 3 marquee matches, or maybe even just one like 4 weeks out that's actually developed, and then you get a bunch of random mid-card matches that are just hastily put together. I would honestly probably get rid of World's End, maybe push Full Gear to December and have that be the C2 finals. So yes, cut down I was actually to say 5, the 4 originals and All In. Yeah, get rid of everything else. Last, we have a gargantuan hot take from Ari Lovett. I'm gonna read the first few sentences and then just sum it up again like the last one. I don't think Ospreay is the top 5 wrestler in the company right now. Mechanically, athletically, he's a perfect worker, but his matches never do much for me. Might be of the structure, the body mannerisms, the inconsistent selling. He has a lot of filler. While spectacular to look at, gets a bit stale, but she says he's recently gotten better because he's been wrestling more grounded, slower opponents. She's never really connected with his character. He's too clean, and that makes him inorganic. His over-the-top acting doesn't land the same way as when MJF doesn't. She doesn't feel the same emotions when he's fighting through agony as she does when it's Takeshita or Briscoe or Darby. She gives an example of when Ospreay used a Canadian flag in the Forbidden Door match. It looked fake and not in a wrestling way either. It broke the immersion for her. Again, she reiterates Ospreay's not bad. He's actually really, really good, but in a company with a lot of talent, she believes that talent is better than Ospreay, and then she lists a few wrestlers down below that she thinks are better than Ospreay. I think it's gonna come no surprise to a lot of my longtime viewers here. Fat disagree with this. Ospreay's my favorite wrestler of all time. He's my favorite wrestler right now. He has been pretty much since I first saw him in 2022. I can see where he come from a little bit. I actually want to say this take I see a lot online, but rarely is it ever actually in good faith and seems sensical. So because he actually gave a good faith, sensical take about not liking Will Ospreay, I appreciate that. And this goes for anybody here who I disagreed with so far. Don't take my disagreements the wrong way. These videos are not supposed to be me making fun of your opinions. It's us debating about predictions or questions and mostly your opinions. If I disagree with them, I am civilly debating with you on why I disagree with your opinions, and you can feel free in the comments to reply to my reply. So I just want to get that out of the way because I hardly disagree with this. But again, I can see where you come from too, because I will say one thing, he's a bit no-selling, and I know there's a difference between no-selling and fighting spirit, and he does both of them, and the fighting spirit really well, but he also does a lot of the no-selling, which is different because fighting spirit, when you fire up, you are firing up through the move you just been hit with and selling it at the same time. So there's an element of selling there, but no selling is when you just get hit by something and just pop that back up and do something else. And Ospreay does both of those, but the former he does quite a lot. When it comes to his acting, you label it as over the top. I never see it that way. When it comes to the acting, at least for me, if someone's really over the top, I don't really get sucked out of it because I'm like, well, yeah, I'm watching wrestling at the end of the day. I'm watching 2 dudes or women in their chonies or top rolling around in the ring. So I don't really mind the over the top that much. And even when he does it like a lot, it doesn't really break the immersion of wrestling for me. And also on a site, I think back to Forbidden Door, that Owen final against Swerve Strickland, when he fires up after being house called, the Death Riders help him up, they cheer him up onto his feet. His performance of that is so amazing. I never once didn't believe that he was actually fighting through that house call. It was, I was emotional watching that. I had chills. And in that, we've seen his matches, we've seen his character work, his acting, and to me, it never really struck me as too much or fake in a bad way or over the top. He's not the most complete wrestler, I will admit that. He does lack in certain areas. Going back to what seems seems to be your general hot take that he's not top 5 wrestler in the company right now. If I disagree, I think he's number 1. But all your points here, I disagree with. But at the end of the day, y'all, please don't take any comment I said the wrong way. We have different preferences, and just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I hate you, or I'm trying to bully you or anything. That's not what this video is for. These videos are for us to debate civilly about our hot takes. I don't want anyone to get mad at me in the comments. I love all of y'all. I love all the engagement I get for these posts and from these videos. So I would never want to ever push any of y'all away. Once again, I already love it. I get where you're coming from. I see just a little bit of it to an extent. That's it for this viewers takes videos. Or viewers takes, or was it viewer takes? I don't know. I have a little bit more than one viewers, so I think it would be viewers takes. I don't know. I need to watch the CM Punk Grammar Slam to correct myself on that. But anyways, thank you all so much again for commenting on this post. Again, y'all's comments came in much faster than they have in the past, so I greatly appreciate that. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching.